Hello YouTube, welcome back to our local to global save here. This is episode 6 already. It's going in pretty quick. We need to start flying through these two, try and get this pop-up. We're in September. We're going to just jump in straight away to the very first show, Kickoff Carnage 10. Of course, we left off last episode with Hangman basically announcing at the end of the show, first time he'd ever really spoke, that he was finally getting his title shot against Davis Wayne Newton, and that is taking place tonight. So that'll be pretty good. We also, just another quick recap, I guess. There's not too much to go over. We just have to keep an eye on Mutant with his morale issues. We're still sitting at about 11 workers that we'll keep for now. I'm trying not to incorporate too many plans until our finances start to go in the positive, Then we can start doing much more different options when it comes to match types. We can do table matches, steel cages. Currently at the minute, I'm essentially making up 12 events that will run essentially our pay-per-views, you could say. And some of them will have like cool stipulations and stuff, kind of similar to the way it is in like WWE or whatever in real life. We'll have a few of our own. So yeah, it'll get more creative, I suppose, more options. The more we advance. Okay, we have quite a lot of energy to use here. I do want to try and get a character idea to use on Remy. Safe bet, that's fine. And a creative finish for the Hangman and Davis main event. Safe bet, okay. Safe bet, I feel like they obviously could have a chance to fail, but surely the percentage for that would be very small. We still have 99 points, but I don't really need anything else right now. No, not really. No, we'll just leave that for now. That's fine. 2 safe bets is pretty good. Davis Wayne Newton gave the locker room a lift, their champion, with a series of spot-on impressions. Good stuff. Backstage rumour mill has been in overdrive after Remy Honeyman and Mitchell Aldred apparently got into a heated argument. That's a bit of a surprise. Both have good morale and they're both professional personalities. Okay, fair enough. Maybe we'll avoid doing team bonding then, just especially with Mutant as well. And we'll do let's do, that's a bit weird actually. The open forms disappeared. I wonder if Mutant isn't annoyed anymore. That might be worth checking. Let's pull a rib on, let's do it on Davis. He's a class clown, so surely he's not going to be annoyed. Failed to provide any impact, which is fine. As long as it's not negative, I'm not actually that fussed right now. Let me quickly check that. I need to apply the character idea on Remy anyway. Mutant. Oh no, he is still annoyed. Fair enough. Anyway, creative idea. Safe bet. Wait. Oh, it's a safe bet just for Mutant. That's my fault. I never noticed. Which is about time actually, because a lot of the ideas we've bought, well, quote unquote bought with our creative energy, they've actually been no restrictions on them, which is pretty rare. I was thinking that actually last episode that we still hadn't. I wasn't. We obviously bought one, or maybe it was 2 for Mutant. I don't remember. So I wasn't actually going to do more. I was going to just let this kind of roll out and hope. I was basically just letting nature take the wheel because I didn't want to invest too much of my creative energy into just Mutant just to make him happy. But I mean, if it's restricted just to him, we don't have a choice. So hopefully it can help. He has hot momentum and is annoyed. So let's see what goes up, if anything. Still annoyed, but very hot momentum now. Okay, wow, it's taking a lot to get his morale back. It turns out me calling him out, that has a. It turns out that can have a huge effect then. Anyway, not to worry, we'll try again next event to get one for Remy. It's more so for his momentum. I want to keep his momentum good. But we'll start with the main event. Also, as a disclaimer, not disclaimer, sorry, more as like a note for anyone essentially I was going to maybe do like black screen and stuff when it comes to booking the events or adding timestamps, but I can't get the timestamps to work on YouTube somehow. Essentially, so it's in case you guys don't want to watch me book the show and you just want to see the results, which is kind of how I like to watch TEW Let's Plays on YouTube. I don't really like watching the booking, even though I know a lot of people probably do, to get like an insight into my mind or the booker's mind, what the plan is. But yeah, I can't really add it right now, and I'm not going to add a black screen probably ever. So if you guys don't want to see me booking it, I mean, yeah, just skip ahead. It's not really going to be hard to find on like your phone or on a computer when the actual show starts, you know. But yeah, anyway, that was a bit random, I suppose. But yeah, it's just in case. I feel like most people probably like to watch the show, the whole show, like all the booking and stuff. I personally don't really. I prefer to sort of be looking outwards into the video as if I'm a fan too, if that makes sense. Right, we have a lot to go over here. This is going to end. I don't really like that when I add it as a draw, it doesn't count as a title defense. I guess it makes sense though, because he hasn't really won, but this is going to be a draw. And during the match, we are going to have a distraction. Of course, Mitchell's there at ringside, doing everything he can. We're also going to add a creative finish, which should help mitigate the draw finish. You know, the poopy finish. You could say that'll give us a bit of a boost on that. And we're actually going to have a DQ finish. No, we're not. Are we? Basically, yeah. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Yeah. No, we can do it. A DQ finish, but it's going to be an outside interference, and it's actually going to be Papa Swoll, because he, of course, has been messed over quite a lot by Hangman and Mitchell. So he's essentially, since Papa Swoll, on many occasions, not the last one, but on many occasions, has had his chance taken away from him for the longest time before he finally got his shot and then got attacked after it anyway. He's actually the reason Hangman loses here. Of course, these four guys involved in this main event are all in the storyline that we have going on. So it's an open match, ends in a draw with Papa Swoll interfering. Basically ending in a DQ. He comes in with a chair and just starts going crazy on Hangman, with Mitchell not quite noticing what's going on, you could say. Yes, book that. We definitely added the belt, didn't we? Yes, that's good. Good stuff. And after Hangman's great, you could say, pop increase up against Connor, we're actually going to do it with Mitchell this show. So we'll do 12 minutes. This will be a pretty good match too with Mitchell on it. And we're going to let him win clean. Obviously, the plan with bringing Connor into the promotion was always going to be, like I say, the Hoover concept. But I'm trying not to suck all his popularity out of him too quick, because he isn't bad. He's not the worst guy to have around. It just means in the meantime, with having him, we don't have an even roster number, which is fine. You know, I want to try and keep it small right now anyway. We're also, I think we're going to do, I have no idea how Jules Knight has warm momentum. I have no idea. But I mean, it is what it is. We're actually going to we could have him fight Remy. That wouldn't be a bad idea. We kind of do need to have everyone on the show though. You know what we'll do? Let's do. We'll do Jules and Blue Dragon with Remy. He can get the win, but we'll team him up with Mutant. And as always, we'll have Blue Dragon. It's a bit of I feel a bit bad for Blue Dragon because if you obviously book him strong or whatever, give him a bit of momentum, even though he's still very young, he's not bad. He's really actually he can get in like pretty decent ratings for anyone I guess who's made it this far. And if you're watching Auspicious Aussie, who also is doing a local to global, he has Blue Dragon, and I realised in his promotion, but he's booking him much stronger than me, and he's already pulling in like 40 plus ratings for him, which obviously is very good. But yeah, Blue Dragon to lose, not today, not in this multiverse. He isn't winning, that's for sure. And then we're also now, yeah, okay, I have it. Yeah, this works. We'll have Max and Papa Swoll. Keep the momentum going. He's on very warm, so this is good. We'll just do 10 minutes. It's going to be a Papa Swoll win, clean win, not an open match though, and that can actually probably start the show. I feel like this, in terms of segment ratings, this should go up as we go, and then to start the show, we'll have the Doctor. Basically, just yeah. I'm not even going to try and think of something. It's basically just cutting a promo, hyping himself up. He's pretty good, obviously. We'll just do an intro. He's basically just warming the crowd up, which will work. He's pretty solid on the mic, even though his popularity's not quite there. But it'll be more than good enough to make something happen. And then we're actually going to have a backstage. It's actually going to be Papa Swoll. This is essentially foreshadowing in a sense. And he is cutting a promo, and he basically goes into Davis Wayne Newton. We'll just name it Davis and Papa backstage. But the premise of this is Papa enters Davis' locker room. No, as much as he. Wait, as much they don't see eye to eye, he will see eye to eye. He respects him as a should I put it like that? Because obviously it's essentially he's like coming in saying like yeah, but then obviously that's not how it goes down. He doesn't essentially have his back per se by the end of the. He respects him as a wrestler, and the one thing common, it's hatred towards Hangman and Mitchell. He's essentially telling him in a roundabout way he kind of has his back, but of course he doesn't. In a sense, he doesn't necessarily like Davis. Don't, but as like a champion, he respects him. Sure. And we'll add that in there. I think two angles should be fine tonight. I could do one with Hangman and Mitchell, but we won't really need to advance with the storyline in that sense. I think leaving them off at this time could be good just to mix it up. Yeah, 69-minute show, 86% matches. Yeah, let's run it. And as expected, 40 segment rating starting us off. Dr. F basically coming out. He's not being used in a match tonight, so we had to include him in the show one way or another, and this works. It'll help get him over a little bit, just a little bit more. Obviously, it's not as good as him being in a match and winning, but nonetheless, it's a very good start. 91 people as well on the show, which is good. It's going up. And then we come into a 41 in our first match, gets the crowd hotter. The crowd's already white hot. I suppose it makes sense that the heat of the crowd will be so high, considering the level of expectations from the crowd is like so much lower than where we're actually at, you know? We're essentially like wrestling out of a tent with like no production value, nothing. Like it's the bottom of the barrel. But good rating. Kind of surprised considering the momentum on Max Mayhem that he pulls in a better rating than Papa Swoll. Not that Papa Swoll's anything amazing, but yeah. But yeah, I'll take it. 41 rating. And it's, of course, Papa Swoll defeats Max Mayhem with a Boom Shakalaka. And our first, basically, this is just to, there's no like meaning behind this. It's just to keep Papa strong and boost him up. Then we move into our tag match, which gets a 48 segment rating with Remy Honeyman and Mutant beating Jules Knight and Blue Dragon when Remy pins Blue Dragon with a flying leg drop. And as expected, Remy with the 45. Mutant benefited from having a hot new move. Did we already know this? I feel like we did, but I'm not sure. 41 from Mutant, 37 from Blue Dragon. Considering we're basically putting Blue Dragon in the dirt, he's still getting decent enough ratings. Like, he's not that far behind. And of course, Jules just behind Remy on the ratings. They're like two really good additions. I know I keep blabbing on about it, but they're the kind of guys we need right now. So 48, that's really solid. Then we move into our locker room angle with Papa Swoll and Davis backstage. Essentially, Papa enters Davis' locker room, letting him know, as much as they of course don't see eye to eye, they don't get along, he does respect them. And the one thing they do have in common is their hatred towards both Hangman and Mitchell, which of course Davis is essentially fighting 2v1 tonight, defending his belt against Hangman. It's basically the both are, not that this is really how we view it, but both are still undefeated in Prestige Worldwide Wrestling, so it's a huge match tonight. Papa benefits from having a hot catchphrase. The segment advances our storyline, but Lost Davis did not do well without a script, which is understandable. He's a bit more 50-50 on if it's going to get a good rating without the script for him, whereas Papa Swoll is fine with no script. I actually haven't scripted any of my matches yet. I wonder, with Craig Prince being so good as a road agent, maybe I'll do that next event for the last show of the episode. I think I'll script all the matches and just see, because I can't remember the sort of requirements for if it's going to be better or worse. Imagine it got so much better, I'd feel like such an idiot. But a 41 segment rating, pretty solid considering it's up there with, considering we had both of them talking. I feel like whenever we do segments with more than one person, the rating tanks, and this is it's one higher actually than Dr. Funkenstein's, so solid. And the exact same rating as the tag match, so this is good. 48, and it's Mitchell with only a 44, but they have pretty good chemistry, which is good to know actually. A 39 from Corner, which is a bit lower on his side, but he'd get penalised for inconsistency. Okay. I actually, off camera, tweaked Mitchell Aldred's gimmick because I think it's rated as like poor, or not great anyway, so hopefully that helps. But 48, Mitchell takes the win cleanly with submission in 11 minutes 47, which should hope pass quite a bit of pop off to him. If he takes even just 3 or 4 points, that would be huge. Maybe not though, because he's not that far behind Connor in pop, but big win for him. And of course, going into the main event, oh no, Davis was really off his game. Even with the creative finish being a success, we hit a 50, which of course is the best rating of the show, but maybe would have been a little bit higher if he wasn't off his game. But superb wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. Davis Wayne Newton draws with Hangman in 15 minutes when the referee lost control and stopped the match. What? That wasn't what I was expecting it to say. Did I not add in the note that Papa Swoll... We'll just use our imagination. Yeah, essentially Papa Swoll comes out and the match ends in a DQ after he attacks Hangman. He's obviously still not over. He's basically getting his own back on all the times Hangman and Mitchell have interrupted him. Mitchell just doesn't see him coming, essentially, with his chair, comes out from the crowd, and the match ends in a draw. And of course, during the match, we had Mitchell distracting Davis Wayne Newton, but to no avail for Hangman to get the win. Show rating 48, pretty solid. We're keeping high on those 40 ratings, which is really nice. We're actually going to give this to... trying to think who... we'll give it to Doctor, actually. He had a very good... got the show off to a strong start. And we'll also give this to... you know who we'll give it to? Blue Dragon. Good example. Was pleased, seemed pleased. We lose just under basically $900, which is pretty much as expected. Popularity recap, we go up. I think on the last event, to end last episode, we didn't move up, so I would have been very bummed out if we didn't move again. So we're up to 7. We've essentially gained 7 points a pop, and I think this was our 10th show. So there's been 3 occasions essentially where we haven't gone up for the month. No, sorry, not for the month, for the show. Because of course, being in September, we've just done. But when we done, yeah, so that was the 10th show. We're of course on the 9th month, so we've only really lost it on maybe 2 points so far. If we're basing it off 1 per month, so that's actually not too bad. But pretty good show. Of course, the saga continues with Mitchell and Hangman essentially having a grip over the whole promotion, the whole roster. They have such a huge influence in a sense with such a small workforce, but we'll have to see how that continues. Like I said, I will try and remember to do... I'll do all scripted matches next event. More for me. You guys probably know the outcome, but I'm just curious to see how big of a difference it's going to be. So I will fast forward off camera, and I'll see you guys for our next show. Okay, we are back for the October show. I need to remember try and book all these matches scripted. Keep it on generic. 91 fans expected. Team meeting. Let's try for a character idea again. Oh god, it's a safe bet. We can only apply to Davis Wayne Newton. Probably the last person who needs it. Jesus Christ. Okay, I mean, it's a safe bet, so we'll give it to him. We'll do creative finish for our main event as always. Likely to succeed. Okay. And let's try another character idea. We have a safe bet. There we go. For anyone. With 74 left over, which we will just keep. No incidents. That's good. Address the locker room. We'll go for inspire. Okay. Let's actually apply these just now. So Remy, he's getting the 1. He has normal morale and killed momentum. Perfect. Beautiful. That is what we like to see. And then might as well just give it to him. He's happy and very hot momentum. Now it's red hot. Jesus. Those character ideas are like, I feel like they're going to be so clutch. See, when you have a much bigger roster and you're generating much more creative energy per show, they're going to be like hot candies, those things. I feel like we'll be using them all the time for momentum and morale, and because it seems to be every single time it's a success, it always moves something from either momentum or morale. So they must be like pretty OP in that sense. Well, after last show, we had Papa Swoll come in and essentially mess up the main event. I am going to run another... We have done this before, and I always say, I'm trying to get the belt prestige up and stuff too, so I don't really... Oh wait, no, you're not in this team. I don't really like not having him defend the belt, but for the purpose of the story line and what we've been doing, we're going to do this. And to mix it up, because Papa Swoll even though he's involved in this storyline, partly as an outsider, he's not got very good momentum at all. So I'm actually going to have him win, and he's going to hand. Yeah, we'll give it to Mitchell to lose. It's going to be an open match. We're going to keep Davis strong. But wait, no, not Davis. What the hell? They're winning. Come on, Sam. Head in the game. Hangman. And it's actually going to, of course, be a clean win, Papa Swoll on Mitchell, which is huge for Papa Swoll. He kind of needs it, to be honest. And we'll add our creative finish. And scripted. We're scripted. There it is. So that's huge. Huge on that part. And then we're also going to do Jules Knight up against Mutant. We'll do 12 minutes with Mutant getting the win, clean win. And then we will do I see too many faces. We could do all face here and just leave. I feel like we could just leave Dragon off the show and just use a character idea to get his morale back if it gets messed up. 4 faces. Yeah, I have an idea. Actually, we'll do Ray main corner. I mean, we already know who's taking the loss here. We'll do 14 minutes, and we'll give Connor gets the win over Max. Clean win. That can start the show. So yeah, only 3 actually, only 3 matches. Usually we end up doing 4. We're quite a bit behind on our on our time. Right, segments. We will open the show with Papa Swoll actually. Papa starts the show reminding the show no, we'll just do that. He starts the show, essentially comes out, and in a sense he's mocking. Yeah, we'll add that in actually. Which isn't very face-esque of him to do, but he's essentially just saying, you know, how does it feel? You get a taste of your own medicine by getting your title opportunities taken away from you. And of course, he's like basically announced to the crowd, him and Davis will be teaming up. And we're actually going to have we kind of need to wait till we have like more pop and stuff. But I do want to try different kind of angles. Let's do a backstage. I'm going to try something a bit different. It's basically just Hangman backstage looking intimidating. In fact, no, we'll do this as his intro. Entrance, sorry, not intro. In the ring. But he's not really cutting a promo either, though. It's a bit odd, this. I don't really like the new angle system. I feel like it takes way longer to just make the angle. It's not because, like, the location, it's not really any of these. So, like, it's an angle, not an interview. And now, yeah, we'll do 2 minutes is fine. Oh, God, I already know that's going to get a stinky rating. But of course, we'll have Papa. He's definitely going to start the show because he has a hot catchphrase still. We got to utilise that. And we'll also actually do. Oh, I need to actually. Oh my god, I almost forgot. You guys are probably screaming at me because I mentioned it. These all need to be scripted. That would have been really annoying if I forgot and I just did it for the one match. 59, we're really behind because we don't have that extra match. We could do. I mean, we could do Blue Dragon, but I don't really want him to win. Which doesn't sound great. Nah, we're not going to. We'll just do. Maybe an extra angle or two at this point. We'll see what we get. We'll do a mutant. To the crowd before his match. See where we're at with him. His performance skills aren't amazing, but they're not horrible. So we'll do that. 64 minutes. We'll just make the main event a bit longer. Screw it. We'll actually try, just for the sake of, since we're doing the matches scripted, we'll actually script this as well, just to see what the rating looks like. Oh wait, the show must be between 45. Why did I think it had to be 65 to 75? That's odd. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. This works fine. We obviously aren't using Blue Dragon, which is might be a bit awkward, but this looks good. Scripted, creative finish. Yep, okay, nice. Yeah, let's go. Run the show. We have 91 people again, but hot and rising crowd. Papa Swoll cutting a promo, essentially explaining his actions from last month's show when he destroyed the main event, essentially stopping Hangman's opportunity, which in his eyes, he was going to take the belt. You know, he had Mitchell by his side. He was doing whatever it took. Because in his mind, that belt should rightfully be his. And he's still bitter and he's had all this pent up energy since the very first show, you know. Because the way I'm thinking of, obviously, the shows are tiny and we have like no relevancy in the world. So, like, the storylines you have to just, I guess, yeah, you have to use your imagination for the sense of like, because there's only one title, everyone's just going for it, you know. So that's why they all seem a bit rabid, mad to get their hands on it, because that's what they're all fighting for here at the minute at Prestige Worldwide. But strong start, 37 rated, hot catch phrase. Do we get penalised for booking the same thing over and over again? I think we do, but I don't know if it'll matter too much for this. Anyway, of course, let's see how the scripted matches go, starting with our opener. Oh, wow, a 44 is pretty good considering who's on this. Dr. Funk is a 33, 38 for Max Mayhem, but the winning team of Remy and Connor, 45-42. Remy and Connor, of course, win when Dr. Funkenstein, when Connor Threepwood submitted Max Mayhem with a stretch plum. Quite a lot of a lot of penalised stuff here. Connor, of course, has a declining physical ability. He's on his decline overall. White hot crowd already. 44 rating is solid. I'll take that, considering who we got in this. Essentially, Remy and Connor carried it, but good stuff. Then the scripted angle with Mutant, which is basically him addressing the crowd, hyping them up before his match. 31 is not the worst, you know. It's not the best, but considering he's not like amazing on the mic, okay, 31, fine, not the worst. And in his match, gets a 48. Wow, Jules Knight essentially carries it to a 47. Mutant only hits a 38. Okay, I'll take it. Jules Knight, it's basically all him here. Nice. Then we have the Hangman angle, which is him essentially coming into the ring for his title shot here for the main event, 36. I mean, there's not much to really mention on this. A 36 for just intimidation. I think, considering the pop and everything else involved, that's good, actually. It's higher than mutants, I'm pretty sure. And then no, sorry, not for his title shot. What am I talking about? I'm still not over last show. It's the main event with the tag match. Creative finish was a success. 53 segment rating, pretty solid stuff here. Hangman. Oh wow, we got Davis Wayne with a 54 and Mitchell with a 53. 44 for Papa, 49 for Hangman. So that's really good. We've not had too many guys breach the 50. Never mind 2 on the one match. But superb wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. Davis Wayne Newton and Papa Swoll defeat Mitchell and Hangman when Papa Swoll pins Mitchell Aldred with a boom shakalaka, giving him his first loss in PWW. And essentially the way I see this panning out is almost Hangman in a way kind of holds back, you know, like defending himself, letting Mitchell take the fall in a sense, but not making it too obvious, you know, because they both are like together, like helping each other, but they're both like bad guys at heart essentially, and they both, well, Mitchell doesn't, but Hangman's eye is clearly on the prize, and Mitchell's kind of the brains, obviously, behind the operation. You know, he's the architect at heart, and Hangman's more the bronze. But 53, very good. 49 show. The show benefited from having quite a wide selection of angles. We haven't seen that message in a while, if at all, this playthrough. So that's good that we got that, actually. Hopefully our pop's actually gone up. We're actually going to give this to Jules Knight, and we'll also give it to Mitchell. He did very good. Both seemed pleased financially. We lose 655. It's much less. I think, honestly, and I'm not even joking, I think that's because we haven't used Blue Dragon, and I believe he's still on tour. So I think we'll check it in a sec, but I think he's coming from Japan to do these shows, so I have to cover his travel. I'm pretty sure. And honestly, if that's the case, I'm tempted to let him go, because we obviously had the issue with him before about his gimmick. He doesn't have one, which was my fault. That's nothing to do with him. Great Lakes, we go up, nice. Media scrum, we can't do anyway. Let's advance here real quick to the end of the month, and we'll quickly run over the pop, and I want to have a look at the finances. Because I purposely didn't check them after last show, so that we could sort of see them together here. But yeah, I think, because that seems way less. Usually the worker cost is just over 1,000, and that's a if that's like 400 going to Blue Dragon, then I am cutting him, because we're kind of on course to probably start making money by the end of the year. We obviously now only have 2 shows to go, but it's okay. November is here. I feel like touring is way more common on this version of the game. I don't know if you guys are seeing it too. Also, one thing though, which is a bit annoying in the sense of making these videos, is and of course we're only doing 1 show a month, so you see it a lot more, but the advancing from show to show takes a long time, which is really quite scary, considering I have a really good PC, like a really good PC, so it's definitely like not anything to do with that. Wow, we're almost breaking even here. Mainly our sponsorships have flown up, which will be to probably, this has gone up again. Yeah, the economy's strong, still rising, so we got to take advantage of that while we can, because as soon as we start making money, probably maybe over a couple $100, I have another guy in mind to bring in, very similar to Connor, the way we brought Connor in and booked him to help with the pop. And I've also noticed so far in the game world, there's a lot of guys who are leaving the big companies. SWF and TCW, and they're not being picked up. I'm pretty sure I saw Joshua Taylor, even though he's like too good for us to use right now, and he's like 40 years old, but he just didn't get re-signed with TCW, even though he has like crazy good pop and amongst other things. So yeah, it's pretty wild. Right. Okay, it actually hasn't changed. It looks like the financial report you get after the show doesn't really show everything, according to this, because basic pay was not. Nah, okay, that's fine, I guess. Blue Dragon's safe for another show, but this is really good. Where it's mainly the sponsorships, I would say. Look how big of a like two almost. I mean, up over 200 here, and then we jumped up 100 again. Okay, yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if next show at the end of November, if we actually almost making money, which is huge because I believe from the moment you go into debt on this version of the game, on this version of TEW, sorry, you have 3 years to essentially fix it before you go bust. So we're fine, 100%. We'll be more than fine. We'll be by this time next year. We'll be in the green. Honestly, probably, hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyway, let's have a quick look here at creative. It's pretty much the same. Hangman's in there now. I'm so surprised Mutant's in here. Anyway, next big things. Oh, Dr. Funk's been moved into this essentially. Who's not hot? It's still at 3. That's fair, I think, with those guys. Okay, let's. So yeah, finances are looking real good. That is really picked up. But yeah, once we start making money, I'm definitely going to be bringing in one or two more guys. Because I'm not really sure either when we go up size to tiny. I don't know what requirements will change in terms of roster size and storylines. I have no idea. So it's gonna be a fun ride just to figure it out together. I don't actually really want to know until it happens, so we kinda will get surprised by it, I guess. Probably in a bad way, but it's fine. Prestige on the title, 33. And we'll quickly see. So Connor, of course, lost to Hangman and then won. Yeah, so he lost and he only dropped the one. And then he did win last show there, but he's still at 18, which is fine. Davis, whoa. What the fuck? Oh my god. From that tag match with Papa Swoll, which they of course won, Davis didn't even get the win. And he's gone up 3 points. Maybe because he did his in-ring performance was so good too. But 3 points, Jesus Christ. I wasn't expecting that, but he's up to 23. I'll take it. Hangman drops, even though we kept him strong. We kept Hangman strong and he didn't even take the fall, but he's actually dropped to 19. He was at 20 after the October show, which would have been the show after. Okay, 19's good though. That's like pretty much the top end of what we have right now. Jules and Max are on 12. So Mitchell jumped up 2 after defeating Connor, and then he also lost one, losing the tag match. I'm surprised Hangman went down too. Bit of a shame. Mutant, he's jumped up to 14. Did we not have you? Hold on a sec. Oh no, it was Jill's night. Then he also beat him in a tag match the month before. Okay, so he's on 15. Papa Swoll's up to 16. He jumped up 3 after pinning Mitchell. So that's good. He's like catching up with the rest of the band. You can say he's only a couple points behind them now. 14 for Remy. Okay, nice. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. Everything's looking fairly decent. Well, no doubt, like I say, once we start making money and our popularity goes up again, we'll get a nice influx of new signings, which will most likely be from this list. I have a wide range of guys I want to use. Some people that I know from the last TEW that I really liked using, like Logan Wheelspain. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but Ernest Youngman's probably my favourite Seaverse worker. Most of the guys I like using are people who aren't in the big companies anyway. I know a lot of the workers, especially like Canadian and the American workers. you know, like your Will Hawkins and Aaron Andrews. Like, I know about them all, but I've never actually used most of them, if not all of them. I'm more familiar with these kind of guys, you know, like Aldous. I really like Aldous from past versions of the game. Um, I used to use Mimic a lot. I believe in this version of TEW, he's signed exclusively somewhere. So he was like another one. Then there's a few other guys. Ozzy Goldstein's one I really like to use. Of course, Logan and Ernest. And then there's a few other guys that I've never used but look fairly decent. We got Marco Gonzalez, who's 21, the son of Sean Gonzalez, who I recognise the name and I think I remember what his render looked like, but I never used him. But he's very good. He's very good too, decent star quality. His psychology is already 62 for 21 years old. Great fundamentals and physicals. You know, he's like someone we'll probably bring in. And then we got other guys like Nate DeMarcus, Tavin Blake Jr., Tennessee Williams. All these guys I've never used before, but they look really, really good. And most of them will be very cheap too. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I think we'll call it there, guys. It's been another pretty good episode. I'm trying to just sort of fly through it just now. I want to try to get up in size and see where our parameters are, you know, where we're at with a tiny size. But once we hit tiny on 17, the goal will 100% be Rest of the World, which I hope we can get on this. I hope there's not like a limit, because there's a lot of companies with this. Let me actually see. Does it say? No. It doesn't say how many companies, I don't think. But we need to have 25 pop in essentially the Great Lakes. And we'll need to upgrade our like production and broadcast and music. Semi-pro, higher pro. That's quite a few upgrades, I think. I'm pretty sure semi-pro is the first. But higher pro on broadcast quality, I think that's 2. So that'll obviously cost us a lot of money. So fingers crossed that economy for the USA stays strong for a while. But until next time, guys, hope you have a good one and take it easy.